Well, if you see it is currently dark, that's because I lost power. Sitting in here in my office just working away, work, and all of a sudden, poof, power went out. I could hear the battery. You guys probably can't hear it, but the battery bank outside is beeping, and it has been beeping for a little bit. That's what's been happening once we get into the triple digits. So I guess it wasn't powering, and I had my second window unit AC on because it is so hot today. And I guess it just ran out of power. That's how it happens, and that's why you need the backups upon backups upon backups. How many times do we say it? So you see, though, I still have this AC unit going because it is on solar, but it's just not putting out enough air, enough cool air for me to work in here today because it's so hot. So I've had the window unit going. So yeah, guess I'm done working for the day. Aaron is on his way home from work, so hopefully he can go ahead and get it charged. You guys know we went and we swapped out the other generator. They didn't have the same one, so we downsized and went with the other one that we have. I think it's a 5,000 whatever. But apparently it wasn't working properly last night, so Aaron has to come home and troubleshoot that. And you see it is, I think, 104 degrees outside, and this is what it's going to be all week long. Ay. This is the reality of living in the desert, off-grid or even on the grid. You can lose power at any minute, and if you don't have your backups, you could lose your life. It's dangerous, this heat. Whew. Anyway, I'm gonna sit in the dark, finish up the last order I was working on, and then I'm going over to the bedroom where it's nice and cold. Whew. And just like that, the lights came back on. Solar must have kicked in and got a little bit of battery charging on it, but I'm going to go ahead and turn off the window unit just because I know that sucks about 400 watts. And like I said, I still have this one going. I just have it directed straight down on me for now. Aaron should be home in about 10 minutes. Good morning, my Traveling Pisces peeps. All right, well, it might not be morning where you're at right now and watching the video, but it is morning here. It is 7 a.m. I am out in the garden trying to get stuff done. Got everything watered already. Started at, right when Aaron left, 6:15. And I got a little bit of energy, so I'm going to try to get some seeds planted. We are officially in August. And I'm not going to lie, I have mixed feelings about July. We struggled a little bit on the property, not going to lie. We did have guests and family that came to visit. That was amazing. Shortly after that, though, it got really hot. Aaron got a little bit sick, which made me get a whole lot of sick. Still fighting it off a little bit, still have a little bit of a cough. But, yeah, it was rough, and we've been in the triple digits these last few weeks, which has been making it even worse. We're struggling in the kitchen to keep it cool. What we've been doing is getting up in the morning and going ahead and turning on the generator real quick to top it off to 100%, and then turning on the AC. Because what we were doing before was just letting it charge up by solar and then turning on the AC, and that was just a little bit too late to keep it cool in there. So the last few days that has been working a little bit better, which is great. You see crazy girl back there, she's wanting to play. And in the office, same thing, we're having issues over there trying to keep it cool. Now, it was doing fine because we have the solar mini split in there, and then we have the second window AC unit. But one of our plugs on one of the solar panels, or two of the solar panels, fried. Not sure what happened, if it was from the sun or if there was a short. We don't know. Just glad that Aaron did catch that, and we are waiting on the part to get it replaced. So needless to say, we are down 2 panels, which means that we are not charging up as well, and we're not wanting to run the generator as much, between the kitchen and the office to try to keep it up. So we haven't been running that second AC unit, which means that I've been taking my work over into the bedroom and working there throughout the day, which is fine because it is super cold over there. I mean, it is you wouldn't even know you were in the desert to know how cold it is in there, which is great. But anyway, that is what has been going on in July. I'm going to get started over here with some seeds because I don't want to get behind the 8 ball and not have plants planted. I hear something beeping in the background. It's probably the mini split for this house, but I'm going to check on that, then I'm going to get started planted. Check back in with you in a bit. All right, so this is the bed that we are going to, or I am going to be planting in today. Aaron is off at work, trying to get some seeds in the ground, like I said, give them a jump start. We're going to do some broccoli. We're going to do some collards, some cauliflower, and some cabbage. Yes, I know these are all cool weather, but I'm trying to get a jump start, like I said. I do have some germinating in the greenhouse, but wanted to give it a spin. It says August is a good month to get them in the ground. We'll see if they're lying for this area. But yeah, we're going to do that. And since we don't have the cages built on this yet, I'm going to go ahead and take some of the shea cloth and just staple it to the top. And then once I see them sprouting up, that'll give us enough time to get out here and get these cages built. Nola, that's not for you. Why are you trying to eat the soil? Because it's amended and it smells so good. All right, y'all, let me get planting. All right, all done. In the first row, I'm trying something new. I'm trying a broccoli Sun King hybrid. Not tried that before. So we'll see how that does. So that's the whole first row. And then in the second row, I did 2 parts. I did, to the left side, we did the snowball cauliflower, which I haven't grown before, so we'll see how that does. And then on the other side, some cabbage. And then in the very last row, because they get so big, I went ahead and popped in some Georgia collards. We'll see how well they do this early into August. But yeah, so this is what I am focusing on in my August garden. And since I have a little bit of energy, and I figured this shake mesh fencing, it's gonna go the length of all of these. And I've got a little bit of energy for the first time in a few weeks. I'm not going to just do this bed. I'm going to go ahead and get this one and that one amended and put in some other stuff. Since my summer squash and zucchini is doing well, I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with squash and zucchini so that, maybe we can get some stuff in the freezer. And then this one, I'm going to try my hand at some peppers again. Our Scotch bonnet is indoors. It's hanging on. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to do some more bell peppers. They're slow growers, so hopefully, by the time I have to get these cages all built, they'll be popping up. So, yep, that's what I got going on now. All right, I'm going to stop talking because it's already starting to get hot. I got to get this done. All right, and as you see, like I said, the mesh clothing, it goes all the way down, or mesh fencing, whatever you want to call it, goes all the way down to the bottom, or to the end. I can't find the stapler to save my life. Aaron done hid it from me again, so went ahead and put this on here, and I'm going to weigh it down in the corner so nothing can get into it today. And then when Aaron gets home, it's going to be his task to get out here tonight and staple it up. Now, I know it seems like a little bit of extra work instead of just going ahead and putting them in already done beds like the ones that we have over here, but I still have stuff growing in those, and I don't want to touch them right now. And I wanted to get a head start. Like I said, I don't want to get behind the 8 ball in August to where I lose my window. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do. And it's easy enough to pull the staples up once it's time to get things, get the cages built. Plus, it'll make it easier because once one of them pops up, because they're not all going to germinate at the same time, so whichever one starts to germinate first, we'll just pull the metal back, the fencing back, and then build that cage and still have it on the other ones. Hope that makes sense to you guys. And since we're going into August, I might as well give you an update on what I have going and what is dead coming out of July. So as you see, here are my babies, my pride and joy, my grapevines. They are all doing really well. They love it back here in this section. These are the 2 new ones that I planted this summer, and this is from last year, which we thought was dead, but look at that baby grow. She's getting a nice stalk on it down at the bottom. I guess that's what it's called, a stalk. I don't know. But yeah, she is loving this spot. She's growing up the trellis. I'm going to eventually put these all the way around here so they all have places to grow. But yes, so that is the good news. They are doing really well, except they are a little bit stressed. You see the leaves are curling up. A little stressed from the heat up the top portion, but the bottom portion seems to be doing really well. Just babying it the best I can through August, and hopefully she will continue to keep doing well, as are the other 2. Here's the cage with the peppers in it that the antelope squirrels kept getting into, and they're pretty much donezo. I've been watering them, hoping that they would pop back again like they did the last time, but I think this time the antelope squirrels really did them in, just like ate down to the stalks to where they are like, nope, not gonna do it, can't do it no more. So I'm just waiting to plant in this one until we get the door on here. Next is my tomato cage. As you see, it is like a forest in here. I did my last harvest off of them about 2 weeks ago. Got a nice little harvest off of it still, but nothing else is blooming in. I mean, you see some flowers on them, but they're not really doing anything, which I didn't expect for them to do because of the heat. But I'm still watering them, hopeful that maybe once it cools down, they might start producing again. If not, then I'll be pulling them out and planting some fall tomatoes. And here, I think I showed you the other day, my babies are doing wonderful in here. This is my summer squash and zucchini, and then I've got my cucumber back there, which is stressed out a little, not doing all that great, but it's still growing, so that's a good thing. And then I have some cucumbers back there popping up, which they're doing really well because they've got the shade of the squash and the zucchini. And then let me see if I can get in there. All right, here, let me get in here to show you a little bit better. And then my baby strawberry is still doing really well here, so I'm very hopeful it'll come back next season. It's loving the shade, and I think I might even have some little babies coming up here as well. So yeah, so it's doing really good in here. Looks like might be some itty bitties coming out soon. You see down there, exciting. Yeah, so that is that. Nothing else has popped in. I did go ahead and plant some peppers and stuff in here in some of the areas where I had some empty spots, but I don't see anything out here, but that's okay. We're still doing really well in here, except for the pesky little grasshopper, baby grasshopper I keep finding in here and getting rid of. But as long as he doesn't eat anything up, he'll be all right. Over here we do have my little sugar baby. Looks like it's still doing well since I brought it over here from the courtyard. We have had the trail cam in here, and I've been seeing a mouse in here at night. Haven't figured out how he's getting in. These mice, man, they get in everywhere. So I got to figure that out, because I think he might be eating the seeds that I went ahead and planted that I told you guys about. So we will be seeing here the next week or so if I have any empty spots, if he ate everything, or if he was just in here checking things out. Lemon tree is doing well. It's growing, growing, growing. You see it has new growth here, so that is good. It's loving this spot still. My poor peach tree, man, I'm so upset. As you see, it's doing well, it's green, it's growing, but we had a windstorm a couple weeks ago, snapped off the very tip of it. So, I don't know what it's going to do. I don't know. We'll see. Only time will tell. My oleanders are doing well. As you know, I transplanted them, took them out from over here so we could open this up. And they're doing well in all the spots that I put them in. And then the cactus area is doing well as well, but I mean, you know, we're in the desert. If I can't keep the cactuses going, don't say nothing about that one. That's not my fault, though. That's from the daggone critters out here sucking all the water out of it. But if I can't keep it going, then I don't know what I can keep going. What else? You know, I had to throw the ball for Nola. Still got some flowers on my pretty baby here that I thought died last year. You know, we've got, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3 of them. We had 4, but I got rid of one thinking that it died. And then these other 3 sprouted back out. So it's hanging on there here. My bougainvilleas, they're trying so hard, but it's getting too hot for them. But I'm hoping they'll come back when the cooler temperatures return. And then, let's see. Oh, these are our Palo Verdes. They're doing well. As we told you, we're going to plant these in the fall. But man, look at how tall they're getting. That one and that one over there. So they're doing really good. As are my cypress. They're growing tall. I can't believe that they're actually taller than me now. The bottoms of them haven't been doing well, but I think that that's growing pains and probably due to animals as well, because these critters, they just won't stop. And then let's see what else we got going on. Not much. This bougainvillea has pretty much had it for the summer. So like I said, hopefully they'll come back come the fall, but it's really taken a hit from the heat. And then there's my courtyard. Courtyard's doing well. I don't want to come over too close because the generator's going back there. Everything is maintaining over here except for my cherry tree. And you know, we've had problems with that one ever since we got it. We've tried it in different spots, so we're not hopeful for that, but we'll see if it comes back in the fall. And then lastly, in the kitchen courtyard area, Aaron's wildflowers are blooming out, so he was pretty excited about that. Here's my other one. It's struggling a bit from the heat. You see it's dying off, but I'm pretty sure it'll come back just like it did last year. And then my strawberry plant has finally stopped producing, and it's starting to die off. You see it's pretty rough. So I'm just going to leave it up here until it gets a little cooler temps, and we'll see if it pops back. I doubt it. If it doesn't, then I'll put another tomato plant in there. And then same with this one, it's starting to die off because of the heat. You can see the leaves, they're really struggling from the heat. And then, but my peppers, look, my little baby peppers, they are still doing fantastic. See that? Oh, they're so good. Except for that one, of course, but that one wasn't even on there, so that's why it's dying. But yeah, look at that. I keep popping them off. Yeah, so I keep popping them off, and we've been eating them. They've been really good. So I'm glad that they're still producing into August. But as you see, it's hit or miss here. And I'm not gonna lie, this last part of July, it had me thinking, I'm ready to quit. This week, temperatures are going to be even hotter. One day it's going to be up to 111, 109, 107. So it's going to be a rough week here as well. But we're in it for the long run. What I'm thinking is once we get everything done, hopefully by next summer, you know, we'll be in a good place. And then maybe we'll take like 2 or 3 weeks and, you know, go on vacation somewhere, cooler temperatures. Maybe that'll be the time of the year where we go ahead and do our traveling, because that's what we're doing all of this for, is to be able to get back to traveling the way we like to do it. So anyways, all right, that's the update for now. I'm gonna get in, go get a shower, go get some work done. Till next time, ciao for now.